welcome to Couple of Instigators. I am here.
Hello, friend.
Yes, hello, friend. Me and Amy. It's me and Amy are back.
What is going on, friend?
Well, so yeah, it's we haven't done a show together in so long, and
It's been a couple weeks.
I know. And when I record with the other co-hosts, I save so much for you to do with you. I am like,
I know.
I know.
The same.
I just let them all do their stories.
Yeah.
And I'm always like, I have to save some of these stories to do with Amy. So, and I don't want to be repeating myself on, but so I have some exciting news. When it rains, it pours in the comedy world.
Okay, what's going on?
Yeah, so, I haven't had too many things lined up. I hate to be a pain in people's butt. You know what I mean? And I really have to learn to reach out. And that's something that, I don't know.
You're your own self-promoter. You have
I know
to be
it.
the one,
I know.
your best advocate for yourself.
I know. And I'm just really terrible at that. And I really wanted to talk about this with you because, you always have worked for yourself. A lot of you're like an entrepreneur like me. Like, we're always trying something.
We're hustler. We're always hustling.
Yeah, right? So
We always got something new up our sleeve.
Yeah.
That we're going to try.
Yeah, right. And I would say that me and you are probably really good at marketing. You know what I mean? I think that's like one of our strong suits. And like promoting my show, whatever. But it's really hard for me to reach out and ask for spots on shows. That type of reaching out.
Well, you have to value yourself as high as you value the pickle pizza.
Yeah.
You're a star. You're a star. You know, like you have to put, it took me a long time to sort of get to the place where I was comfortable doing this, that I can say, you know what, I'm the best person for this. You know what I mean? That did not come easy for me either. And as extroverted as we seem on this show, y'all, I can crawl right into a hole and, not want to talk to anybody sometimes and feel bad about myself and not feel like I'm up to snuff with the rest of my peers and things like that. But you have to kind of dig yourself out. We're at the age now where we're our own best advocates and our own best marketers, and you have to sell yourself as the product, just like you're selling a pickle pizza when you make those cool flyers.
Yeah.
Right.
And
you gotta do.
Yeah. And, I was just always like, do you think it we're older women. You know what I'm saying? We're not like on the 20-somethings. But do you think like our upbringing or like what is it that like I feel like my age group, like I don't know. I just feel like a lot of it's my fault. I don't follow through. You know what I mean? I'll have I can think of 3 or 4 things right now where I've had some people that I've met where like, here's my card, message me, I'd like you to do a show. You know what I mean? I'd like you to open for me. Or I'd like, and I'm just like, I don't know. I feel like... Do you feel like this is like a therapy session we're having? I know. Right.
Welcome to Amy's...
And Cindy's like...
Yet another... we don't have a license for this, so don't be calling us with your problems. I'm not going to get a malpractice.
No, but
whatever.
You know what? I mean, if you want it...
But, so the thing is, though, is... Do you think it's more procrastination on your part, or you don't feel like you're worth opening for these?
Like, do you think?
Are you just busy in life with your pizzas, or are you actually feel like you sit there and look at the card and you like, this is too much pressure. I don't want to deal with this, and I don't want to do it.
I know it. It's like so bizarre.
What is it though?
I don't know, Amy. I need therapy. I don't know. I mean, of course I do feel like a lot of me does procrastinate, but then I'm like, why do I procrastinate on things when it's supposed to be me reaching out?
I can self-sabotage with the best of them. It's the... Because you know what? You're in a routine and you're comfortable like with what you're doing, and you're making money here, you're making money there, and you start getting comfortable with where you're at, and you're like, well, if I do this, what if it, this is going to happen, negative things. But, even like when positive things happen, sometimes that change is just too much to face. You know what I mean? Like maybe you're afraid that you're going to get like deep down too good at comedy and like not be able to do the pizza thing anymore or something, even though that would be your dream.
Yeah.
Like,
right.
That would be, like that would be, yes, anyone, comment, go ahead and comment on this, anyone. If anyone, this would have been a good live show.
Yeah, we need women to call in.
We're stuck with our own devices. I feel like a lot of people can relate to what we're saying right now. I think even the most confident people on the inside, and I think especially as women, we're taught to be, I think we're kind of taught to be like, be noticed for the wrong reasons, like early on in life. Not so much now. I think things are changing, but like, you're noticed for like all these things. And now, like when you're bold and you put yourself out there, it's seen as, aggressive. It's seen as masculine somehow, but it's not. It's just you're putting yourself out there like you're supposed to, and that's what you should do.
So,
but if you, that's so I don't know why you're doing it to yourself. Maybe you might just be complacent with where you are, and you know what? The thing is, Cindy, is that if that's the case, that is also okay. Like you do not have to pursue this any further than you want to. You don't have to feel bad about making a decision to be like, you know what? I like things the way they are. They're going pretty good. And I think I'm going to stick to doing my open mics, and I'm going to stick to this life path, and that's it. But if you're yearning for more and you want more out of this comedy gig, then you have to step it up.
Yeah, I mean, right.
Reaching out to you. You got to reach out.
I got to hit people back. I do, And I was thinking about this today because the one person that had asked me to hit them up came back into the pizza shop today, and he was like, hey, are you going to hit me up because I can have you open, and open for us and this and that. And I'm just like, oh, yeah. I don't know. But here's...
there you are slinging pizzas at 100 degrees. Not that you don't like that. I know you do.
Yeah, but so this is what... So here's what happened. So there's a podcast that I listen to. I listen to a lot of podcasts. And, and listening to podcasts, you kind of feel like you know the people and like they're your friend. You know what I mean? After you're listening, because you know so much. So
I'd like to think I have a lot of friends that I don't know. Right now.
Yeah. Well, there's a couple comedians who do one podcast that I really love. And I love it because they will talk about comedy. They talk about touring. They're both, pretty successful. And they were, and they were on there discussing, someone had written in a question because they pre-record like we do, but they have questions mailed into them. And she was saying that this one girl emailed in and was talking about how she was dating a guy who is in comedy, and his career is so up and down, and she doesn't, she's like, what am I doing with this guy? And, is financially, it's just really hard, but I know he's pursuing his dream. And one of the comics on the podcast said, listen, let me know where you are. I'll be more than happy to let him open for me. Any listener of this podcast, is more than welcome. And I thought in my head, man, I'm going to reach out next time she's in town or around for a spot. You know what I mean? It'd be cool. Yeah. I get to see her. I've met her. She's so kind. So... Right. She's coming to Buffalo next weekend, and I'm like, I'm going to reach out. So I reached out to her a few weeks ago as soon as they had announced that she was coming to Buffalo. And I'm like, hey, I don't know if this is crazy, but we've met before. I've hung out with her in the green.
I just met you, and this is crazy.
No, I know, but I hung out with her.
Call me maybe, lady.
So it's crazy because last time I went to see her, I wasn't doing comedy yet, but I was thinking about it last year. And I had messaged her. I'm like, I'm so glad. I can't wait to see you. And she's like, girl, as soon as you're here, hit me up. Come hang out with me in the green room. Like, that's how cool she is. So I went in the green room. I hung out with her. We chatted. And I was like, oh, I really want to try comedy. Whatever. It was fine. Now look where we are a year later. I'm hitting her up for a spot on her show. It was just
that's great.
So bizarre, right? But then after I hit her up, I felt like a jerk. So I emailed her co-host, who I have also met before. And I'm like, I feel like a jerk. I hit her up for a spot. Is that like crazy of me? And she hit me back and she's like, no way. You got to reach out. Reach out. Everybody asks for spots. Put yourself out there. Don't worry about sound. You know what I mean? Whatever.
Absolutely.
So it turns out she messaged me back. I had totally but she's like, I hit up my manager and told them through and the club already got a host. So, which is cool, but she's like, come down. She's like, you do a spot on every show.
Well, okay. All right. That's
so
good.
I told her, so I'm probably going to do a spot. It's going to be next Thursday at Helium. And her name is Carly Aguilina. You guys, she was on Girl Code. She's absolutely hysterical. If we have any listeners that want to make that drive from Rochester to Buffalo, or anyone in Buffalo, please go check her out. She's very funny, and I'll be doing a spot on her show. And it's not even so much, I'm just excited to chat with her. And I love to pick her brain about comedy, But yeah, so I'll be there with her Thursday night, and I'll be there with her Saturday night. I won't be with her Friday because I'm already committed to a show in Rochester. But I will be at the old Hogan's Hideaway Friday night on Park Ave. I'm doing a show there called Hidden Talents. It's just called The Hideaway now. So I'll be doing a comedy show there Friday at 9 if anybody wants to come down and see me. But other than that, I'll be in Buffalo. But I am just very excited to do this spot for Carly. And not only that, but I'm just like, how amazing that she just, as a fan, she's like, girl, anything you need.
You got positive feedback about your inquiry.
Right. And the crazy thing,
that's a huge thing.
And she didn't even ask me to see my comedy. I'm like, she was just going on trusting me with this,
Maybe she's seen it.
I had sent Emma some of my clips when I won Rochester's Funniest, because Emma was always like, I can't believe we were talking about you wanting to do comedy and you're this far already. She's like, it's amazing, It
really is. It really is. You have a lot to be proud of.
So anyway, that was my excitement, and I just want to give a shout out to Carly because, I'm just a fan of hers, just someone that listens to her podcast, and that's what it's about. She's another comic giving another comic a break, and that if I was to ever be a touring comic, which it's not what I'm really aspiring, but I would be the same way. I would just, I would bring my people with me on the road.
Well, why wouldn't you aspire? Why wouldn't you aspire?
Well,
to do that? Let's dissect this for a minute.
Well,
Hold on a second. We're still in therapy here.
Mm-hmm.
Is it because you don't think you're good enough to be a touring comic?
Well, I definitely don't have
think
enough.
Danielle would miss you too much?
No.
And you got the...
No. Number one, I definitely, need to work a lot harder and get more material. I've only been doing it a year. These are people that have been in the business 7-8 years that tour, and I respect all that. At my age, I'm tired. You have to move to New York City. You got to move to LA. There's a whole, at my age, that's not something I would do. You know what I mean? These younger comics, they can do that. Amy, I'm just too old for that type of a hustle. But hey, I'm not saying if someone spotted me, I wouldn't be sure.
Right.
That's
exactly.
different. But I really need to work more. I only have 20 minutes. I'm not even really, I'm just even a little short. You're dragging yourself. No.
Through.
I'm just being realistic.
But you're like you said, you're only a year in, so you're just saying at this time it would not be a good time.
It's not a good time,
you could have a big break late in life, and
Oh yeah, absolutely. And only being a year in,
make enough to cover all those knee replacements and everything. You could be.
Yeah. But, I really, really want to work on my hosting. So anyway, that's exciting. I will be hosting 5 nights at the Carlson the end of September. I just got the gig, but things change a lot. So I'll announce that as it gets closer, which I'm very excited to be doing 5 nights there. So, I'm excited, and I'll push that more as it gets closer.